Hello there, Vic Benedict here. We're playing God of War 2018 on Give Me God of War difficulty, and this is my guide and walkthrough for the hardest difficulty. My throat is dry and I'm thirsty and I have no water. If I wasn't thirsty, I would have a whole gallon of water on this desk for my needs. But you never have what you need when you can't get to it, can you? But anyway, we were in this room at the end of the last video. We did a troll boss fight, and now we're in the same room, and we're going to be doing two more fights with nightmares, ogres, and in the next fight, 3 wolvers. So you want to be really careful at the beginning of this fight to make sure that the nightmares are dealt with, and then you just want to attack the troll. Take him out of the equation, and that's going to actually determine the fight. If you're wondering why I didn't include this footage in the last video, the reason for that is because I wanted to have adequate time enough to announce the boss and give you some recommendations. Oh, you see this? I don't understand why there is no option to execute the enemy that you've mounted. If you remember Lords of Shadow, when you mounted a warg, you could click in the triggers and it would execute the target for you. And I think in some of the other God of Wars, there was that same option to because you saw what I was doing. I was just hitting the floor because there weren't any more enemies around. So I wish there was some way to just execute him really quickly and move on with with your life, but you can't do that. So anyway, it seems kind of strange because it would be all well and good to hit a bunch of enemies that were in the battlefield. I wouldn't kill a mount if there were other enemies in there, because why not use him to damage others? But apparently you have to wait until it times out. So but on these wolvers, just make sure that you always keep them stunned as much as you possibly can. I think, we don't quite have 4 arrows to use yet, but we're going to get a lot of good stuff after the boss fight that's coming up. We're going to get the ice flame so that we can upgrade our axe another level, and we will be doing some more upgrading. We should have a full quantity of 4 arrows to use, which is the max, so that 3 should change to a 4 on the bottom right. Now I've forgotten the name of the light runic attack that does that little circular blade spin, so I apologize about that, but that is what I have equipped for my light attack. My heavy attack, I think I'm going to switch back to the anvil, and this boss fight is it's not that difficult. In fact, I didn't find it difficult at all on this run. I remember kind of having a problem with it when I was first doing it, but the checkpoints are plentiful, and as long as you realize what's actually at stake at the end with having to repeat stuff, I'm going to show you exactly what to do. Now, you're never going to be fighting these guys at the same time. That is to say, unlike Dark Souls, where you had that Ornstein and Samo boss fight where they would both come after you, this fight over here, even though they might come close to one another at times, you're only going to be engaging with one target at once. So just beware of the red glinting attacks, because even though they don't interrupt you with the runic attacks, you do get damaged, except for the Rage of the White Bear. So that's the only one, although I don't have that equipped. But we are going to try to do distributive damage, and as it notes there, when Magnus grabs your Magni, I'm sorry, these are the sons of Thor, voiced by Nolan North, and that fucker who voiced Ellie. Can't remember. No, not Ellie. What am I talking about? Joel. Troy Baker. He's these sections over here might seem stupid to you, but if you realize that you get a checkpoint every time you get here, they might not seem so stupid. Okay, so this is going to transition to the second of the 3 phases over here, and the taller one, the one that you actually kill at the end. Now he is going to be doing a blade attack that does an AOE that comes at you. That can just be blocked. The other smaller one, he throws these little projectiles at you, and I don't believe that they can be blocked. But certainly that can be blocked, and you want to be blocking it. Let's see, what else? Yeah, I've forgotten the name of that. I'm sorry about that. But the principle here is to do distributive damage to the bosses. That is, you're going to like the Agnes and Rudra. Agnes, what was called like Agni and Rudra, something boss fight from DMC 3. And like the princes, the Lothrian. Here, oh yeah, go ahead, drive by. 1:21 a.m. in the morning, you're driving by, you fucking pig bitch, ruining my goddamn guide because you wanted to drive down the street, you sack of shit. And it's probably some elderly somebody, I don't know. Anyway, so when you do get grabbed by the taller one, if Atreus can't get to you, you are going to take damage. So what happens is if he's otherwise engaged with Modi, you're not going to be able to get through that without taking damage. But you just want to, hang back, be as observant as you can with what these guys are doing, and realize that it's just a matter of time until you get your next checkpoint. So see what I'm trying to do? They have a stun bar beneath each of their names. If you're wondering who's who, Magni is the taller one with the sword. The shorter one that uses those magical attacks, he's Modi. And see, the problem too is that it's difficult, like when you're just looking at their gauges and you don't really know who's who. You find yourself in this situation of you go to hit someone and you're just hitting them to see which one is receiving that damage, because it's you might not know who's who. So that's one of the problems. A lot of the times I would be there and I would be trying to even out the damage that I was dealing to these bosses, and it would say, maybe for an example, Modi has a little bit less life, so I need to go attack the other one to even out the damage, So I would be glancing at which part of whose enemy health bar was getting the red off of it, so I could see who was who, and then in so doing, I would be distracted and I would get hit. So over here, this is the last part of it. You can hit him out of the air and cause him to fall down. Now, if you do that a lot, you're going to find that he is going to get felled first, because he takes a lot of damage. I mean, not a lot, but it's a decent amount of damage. So this is the final phase. It's all very nicely checkpointed too. So I would recommend having the cooldown mechanic on here so that you can do your attacks twice over. And when one of them gets to near the end of his health cycle, the other one is going to go try to save him. So what you're trying to do at the end is you're trying to take care of them and kill them at the same time. And it isn't very difficult to do that at all. But if you're not aware of what you have to do, the other one can go heal the one that was, getting ready to get killed. So at this point in time, we have Modi is almost dead, and Magni has just a little bit more life. So I've equipped the one that has the move that has iframes, so that I can. I just like this move. I like knowing that I can use a move and not get interrupted and not receive damage. With all of the other relics, when you use them, sure you don't get interrupted, but you can often take fatal damage. It just depends whom you're fighting. But looks like Modi's dead, and now Magni just needs to be finished off over here. So that's all we need to do, just finish him off. And at the end of this video, oh, I think we also have a little bit more running around to do after the video. And, oh, no, we'll save that for later. But after this boss fight, you do get an upgrade to your axe, so you can go back to Sidri. What's his name? Sidri? I think his name is Sindri. Maybe is his name. Oh, actually, I saw a name tag on that guy. It said dog shit. Take care.
Must have been some horde made the light in him.